Hello again, world. How are you? Boxie Nigma here. Hopefully you there. This is actually going to be our MLB preview. We're going to go through each division one by one. You can actually see by the title which division we're currently talking about. It's going to be a total of 7 videos. We're going to give our predictions of which teams we think from each division are going to have a wild card, who the winning team of that division is going to be, and then in our final video we're going to go through the playoffs and our World Series predictions en route to the 2013 MLB season, which actually begins tomorrow night when the Texas Rangers take on the Houston Astros. I'm sitting right here next to my boy Youngest. Youngest, how are you doing today?
Doing fine.
Usually Youngest is behind the camera, and usually it's just me talking, but I figured I'll go through my usual, spiel, my usual preview of each division and my pick, and then I'll turn to Youngest, see what he has to say about it. And we're going to get started. We are in New York. We're going to get started with the highly anticipated, the much talked about American League East. And if you don't know out there, if you're a beginner baseball fan, the American League East consists of the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, Toronto Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Baltimore Orioles. Last year, the Orioles won the division. And I believe the Yankees actually won the division. The Orioles got in as a wild card from that division. This year, a lot has changed, though. The Blue Jays have come out swinging. They got a lot of the remains of the Marlins and also picked up R.A. Dickey, Melky Cabrera. They are loaded from top to bottom. They even have a decent closer. So
can't forget about Jose Reyes.
Jose Reyes they got. And they're 3 deep on the pitching staff, 4 deep on the pitching staff. When you look at R.A. Dickey, you got Josh Johnson. If he's healthy, he's an ace, an absolute stud. You have Mark Burley, very, very true. And you also have Brandon Morrow, who was on the team last year, and J.A. Hop, because of the fact that they just can't figure out what to do with Ricky Romero. I do think you got to start with the Blue Jays. I think they're going to win the division. I don't want to hear you can't buy a World Series team. The Yankees did it in 2009. Many teams over the years have done it. Marlins themselves have done it back in the day. So I do believe that even though last year's Marlins didn't win anything by buying a team, I think that this year you're going to see, and there's going to be a common theme. I do think the division winner is going to be the Toronto Blue Jays. What do you think?
I think they're over 90 wins, maybe over 95 wins, but you also have to remember it is the remnants of the Marlins team. You can't forget that part. A lot of those Marlin players did not play well last year. Maybe in the AL, they'll play better. Who knows? Their pitching staff is stacked with R.A. Dickey, possibly another Cy Young Award winner this year. Who knows? Maybe. What do you think, Boxie?
Well, and I do think that the closer on the Marlins was a major reason why they didn't do anything last year. Also, I think there's going to be one wild card team to come out of the AL East. I'm tempted to say there'll be 2, but my problem with that is there's not going to be teams to beat up in the AL East. They're pretty much 5 strong. I don't think the Red Sox are very good. I think I'm going to have them finish last. But I do think they'll be okay. They have some pieces there. I think you'll start to see Middlebrooks come into his own. Felix Doubront, I expect more from him as a starter, having a full year starting this year. The Yankees, they are my team. My team, even though I'm wearing a Washington Nationals hat, my original team is New York Yankees. Too many injuries this year. I know they're old. They have the championship pedigree. I wanted to take them as a wild card. I'm actually going to move them into 4th place in the division, believe it or not. I just don't see it this year with them. I think they have too much to overcome. If they could tread water by the time Granderson comes back and they get back to Shera, make a move or 2 to the Yankees, and maybe they'll be there. But I think they're going to dig themselves in too big of a hole. 3rd place, I have the Baltimore Orioles, same team as last year. I don't have them making the playoffs. They do have a lot of the pieces that they had last year. Adam Jones is an absolute stud. And then in 2nd place, and I do have this team making it into the playoffs with Evan Longoria back and that pitching staff that is 5 deep, and Joe Maddon always figures out ways to do it. The Tampa Bay Rays, I think they'll make it as one of the wild cards. Behind the Blue Jays, Alex Cobb's going to be pitching for them. You still got Price, Hellickson. That entire pitching staff is deep, even without Shields. And remember, they got Will Myers coming up as well, that they got in that deal for Shields. So I do believe that I got the Blue Jays winning the division. I have the Rays going to the playoffs as well as a wild card.
I have a similar prediction. I have the Blue Jays also as the winners, but I have the Red Sox actually as 2nd place, and the Yankees in 3rd place. Tampa not making the playoffs, and Baltimore sadly hitting last place, but not saying that they're going to finish under 500. They will be above 500. This is going to be one of the toughest divisions. They are all going to be above 500. They are going to rip apart the rest of the American League. It is going to be very tough, the American League. The World Series winner may come out of the American League this year, but who knows? We've been wrong before. Right, Boxie?
Absolutely. So that's going to conclude our preview of the American League East. You can keep on watching. We're going to, next up, take on the American League Central. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Boxie Breakdown. Sit tight. We'll be right back. And keep going on the preview of the American League Central. Take it easy. You be well.